Now that we've got Wireshark installed and we've got our adapter set back to the private host-only network, VBoxNet 0, and we've turned that Ethernet adapter, that network adapter, to promiscuous mode under advanced, we're ready to, let's go ahead and shut down Wireshark if you still have it running, since we changed the interface, and let's start Wireshark back on that Windows 10 computer. Then we can go to Capture, come to Options, and we'll just make sure that we're connected to that internet and it's in promiscuous mode. That's going to be okay. Close. So we're ready to capture in Wireshark. Now we need to make sure that we have our Mutilidae, our Metasploitable 2 running. We're actually going to log into Mutilidae. But we're going to try our Metasploitable 2. All you need to do is the ifconfig, and that is at 10.0.3.5, and we should be listening to that 10.0.3 host-only network. So 10.0.3.5 for me. If yours is different, that's fine. Open your Windows 7 box, and we're going to open up a browser. And let's surf to 10.0.3.5. We can see our Metasploitable box is up and running. Now, Metasploitable is going to be really useful when we do web hacking, but we're going to demonstrate how we can capture a plain text password if it's sent out over an unencrypted channel across the network. Anybody who's connected to the network, that Windows 10 machine is completely separate from these other two computers. Anybody connected to your network can sniff your passwords if you send them unencrypted. So let's see that happen. First of all, come down to Mutilidae. Mutilidae is a terrific application for learning various web exploits. So you can try different types of attacks. It's an attackable platform. Mutilidae, born to be hacked. Let's go to the login register page. So we've logged into, we're on our Windows 7 box, but we've actually logged into our Metasploitable server, and we've clicked through to Mutilidae because it is a good login register page. So we can reset the DB, that'll be handy for us as well, and come back to login register. I'm going to go ahead and start my login. I'm not going to press login, but I'll say Fred, and my password is Wilma. You can log into another service if you wanted to. You could log into anything that doesn't require an encrypted connection. The key to this is that if you ever log into an HTTP server, whether that's your WordPress server and you do your WP-login over HTTP, or if you log into your school's email, your work email, over an unsecure connection, your password is being sent over a huge network just like the one we're about to see here. So this is a small network with just 3 computers running on it right now, but I've got my Windows 7 computer ready to log in to this login page that is not secure on my Metasploitable server. Hold it right there. We're going to come over to Windows 10 that's running our Wireshark, and we're going to start the packet capture. So press Start. And now Windows 10 is going to be listening for packets. Let's send it a packet. We'll log in with Fred and Wilma. Notice it's asking if we want to remember the password. No, we don't. So when we run this, we're going to see that it needs the database set up, but that's okay because we have sent our login information. Switch back to Wireshark and press Stop. So on our Windows 10 computer, we're stopping Wireshark now. All we need to do is, well, first let's save these captured packets. File, save as. So I'm just sniffing a network. I see somebody's logging in on a computer over someplace else, that Windows 7 computer, someplace across the coffee shop, or any place that I'm doing security testing. And I'm going to call this login traffic, because I think somebody logged in, and we'll use the PCAP-NG format. Press save. So we've got these packets that we can come back and look at later, but let's go ahead and go to Edit, Find Packet, and let's change this to string and see if we can find, well, a lot of times when a website posts or sends a form to a server, it uses the post command or the post format. So let's see if we can find post. And we may see a few down here. Look at this one highlighted right here. There's a post from a 10.0.3.4, that must be my Windows 7 computer, to 10.0.3.5. That is my Mutilidae, my Mutilidae website running on the Metasploitable box, and notice it's an HTTP post, and it's trying to post a login. So we could also search for login as a string, but if you know how web forms work, post is a really good one. So if I click on this packet, and if I double click, I'm going to see that it had an HTTP form, or an HTML form. If I expand that, look at the information that went across this network. Fred had a password of Wilma and attempted to log in. Wow, that should scare you if you ever log into a website that doesn't have HTTPS and that little lock symbol to let you know that the site is secure, that it's encrypting that traffic before it sends it out. You need to know that you are sending usernames and passwords in plain text across a network. I'm on a completely different computer that just happens to be connected to the same network, and I can see Fred and Wilma as plain as day. So if those were my username and password for that remote server, my Metasploitable server, I would have just given that out in plain text on the network. That's almost like putting a post-it note on your monitor with a username and password for your favorite website. So let's look through this packet a little bit down below and see, we can see the individual characters in that packet. And if you scroll down here, you can see password equals Wilma. It's all right there. Password equals Wilma. So there's a whole lot of other digital information that was sent in this packet. You can see that. Tells the location of the form, tells what kind of information it accepts, and a lot more. But the key word that we were looking for was our password, and we found that just by looking for information that had been posted to a web server. You can also, when you get good at using Wireshark, you can search for strings like pass or password or PWD, and you will turn up a lot more like this. It just turns out that our very first form posting, we captured just for a little bit, that we didn't have to do very much searching because we captured right as that user was clicking login. Then we stopped our capture, saved everything, and now we can surf through that packet, that individual packet that was sent. Notice there's a whole lot of packets that were sent, and some even had post in them, but we were lucky to turn up that post Mutilidae going to our 10.0.3.5 pretty quickly. There's one more set of skills that we need to flex to understand why it's important to have good passwords and why it's important to protect those passwords with good security. And we'll see that in the next lesson. Then we'll do a wrap up and see some tips on how you can avoid having your passwords taken the way that we've shown in these lessons so far.